You've continued to express that you're disheartened by the characterization of your conversation with Nafisa Collier. Just again, seeking clarity. Did you in fact say that Caitlin Clark should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything? And do you actually feel that way, that without this platform, players like Caitlin Clark wouldn't be making what they do off the court?
Is it panic time? Is it panic time? I don't know.
It's panic time, uttered twice by someone who is clearly unsure of how to react. The current occurrences in the WNBA are no longer rumors, which is why they should be in a panic. On social media, it's not speculation. It's not a critical analysis penned by a resentful anonymous blogger. Reports state that Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's public face and the player who single-handedly made the league famous, the reason half of the people watching this video have ever heard of women's professional basketball, signed a contract that will shatter any preconceived ideas about the future of sports. This changes everything. Everything changes at this point. Everything. That word is working pretty hard right now. In about 90 seconds, you will understand why it is the right word. This has culinary potential that is unmatched. This might be used to cook anything. Get ready. Everything. Don't compete with everything. That might be the best three-word summary of what's to come, considering what we now know about the recently negotiated agreement. But nobody is making a connection with this. The most worrisome component of the scenario is not even the $150 million amount that has blown up every sports platform in the past day. The most problematic component is what Cathy Engelbert's reaction discloses about the WNBA's true level of exposure. And that story begins at 4 o'clock in the morning with a room full of anxious executives rather than with Clark. Now, let's set the scenario since the breakdown of this whole affair is just as significant as the deal itself. Project B, the international women's basketball organization backed by Saudi Arabia, has been operating quietly and intentionally for months. The kind of methodical, patient money transfer that only takes place when you have a fund worth $10 billion and no sense of urgency. With relation to deadlines. While Cathy Engelbert was on TV talking about progressive salary increases and sustainable growth, Project B was secretly convening in European palaces. While the WNBA discussed whether it could afford charter flights for its players, Project B was purchasing the private jet company the league was considering using. Instead of buying a jet, they bought the airline. Before you proceed, would you kindly do me a favor? If you enjoy this video, please subscribe. It's free. It only takes a moment. Do you currently have a subscription? Many thanks for it. Then, with a red-stamped contract in hand, Caitlin Clark's agent reportedly boarded a Saudi-owned private aircraft at a private airfield with the help of lawyers and financial advisors. Moreover, the price on that contract did not match the $50 million figure that had been making the rounds online. It was $150 million for 5 years, fully guaranteed, and offered Clark a tiny stake in the organization's management structure. Ownership of the just-established league. When that information reached the front office, the WNBA, a league that has continuously underpaid its top stars for 27 years and is now seeing that decision come back to collect the bill, reacted precisely as one might anticipate. We are informed that NBA Commissioner Adam Silver and Commissioner Cathy Engelbert held an urgent meeting at 4 a.m. to address what insiders refer to as the Great Exodus. Silver was reportedly seen shouting into his phone, questioning how they permitted one player to be worth more than 25% of the league's total. Silver was screaming into his phone at 4 in the morning, asking how they had permitted this to happen. This is the answer to that question, Commissioner. For many years, you saw the WNBA as a charitable initiative rather than a legitimate professional sports league, so you permitted it to happen. You permitted that to happen because every time a WNBA player asked to be paid her fair market value, the response was sustainable growth. You permitted it to happen because you thought loyalty had no boundaries. It is not free. Caitlin Clark just added a price tag. According to those with knowledge of the situation, Engelbert's purported reaction to the Clark agreement was angry rather than startled. Furthermore, that differentiation
This changes everything. This changes everything.
is important since her anger shows that she expected this. She must have seen the weakness because she was upset. Furious suggests that the fundamental problem was not promptly resolved and that someone in that company knew this would occur. The basic problem has a name, and it is not Project B. It is the discrepancy between the players' actual market value and what the WNBA pays them. Clark did not create the disparity, but she did make it clear when she accepted a contract that exceeded the WNBA's annual wages by more than 5 years. It was already there. Project B just made it impossible to ignore. Although the amount of money is significant, the context surrounding it is more crucial, therefore let's discuss it. $150 million is fully guaranteed over a 5-year term. That comes to $30 million a year. To put that in perspective, the majority of viewers will immediately realize that the current WNBA wage cap for all 12 rosters combined is approximately $5.65 million. The total salary of a WNBA team would exceed 5 times Caitlin Clark's annual Project B salary. According to reports, Clark's signing bonus alone is greater than the whole salary cap for the WNBA. Her signing bonus, not her yearly salary. The money she was paid up front only for agreeing to sign the contract. They are offering contracts worth $1 million every game to their top players, and that is just the base pay. If a participant wins the entire tournament, they will receive an extra $50 million. $50 million if you win the tournament, plus $1 million each game, not each season. In contrast, the highest-paid players in WNBA history have earned roughly $250,000 throughout a season. Project B pays more for a single game than some WNBA players earn in their entire careers. From a strategic standpoint, Engelbert's rage suddenly makes perfect sense because music is already breaking out in every sports forum as soon as Clark's deal is made public. Every WNBA player whose contract is due to expire will have exactly music. The same conversation with her agent. "Why am I taking less?" she will ask, displaying that $150 million number. Insiders, according to those close to the case, Clark herself believes that this purchase will revolutionize her life. However, $30 million a year will improve people's life not just materially, but also philosophically. She sold out venues that were half empty prior to her debut, produced a $60 million broadcast rights pact that the league publicly boasted about, and handed the. According to her camp, the WNBA is experiencing its biggest cultural moment in decades. In return, the WNBA told her that it could not afford to treat its franchise player like a franchise music player, put her on commercial flights, and stated, "We think you deserve this." When a Saudi business showed up with a specially constructed music Boeing 747 equipped with spa music rooms and a full-size basketball court, Clark's camp reportedly concurred. While WNBA players are fighting for revenue share crumbs, flying economy, and worrying about rent, Project B players are living like world royalty in a golden cage. The question is who will be the last star to dim the lights? Not if players give up. Who will be the last famous person to turn down the lights? Cathy Engelbert is now asking herself that terrible question at 4 in the morning, since Clark was the first. The transcript of this story does contain other names, though, and they are not insignificant. Let's review the names as this is not a single-player narrative. With a $5 starting budget and a team of talent scouts who have watched more WNBA games than most WNBA executives, this is a meticulous analysis of the WNBA's skill pool done with the level of accuracy only feasible. Music. AB practically every statistical and analytical measure, Ja Wilson is currently the world's greatest musician. She led Las Vegas to consecutive crowns, won 2 WNBA MVP awards, won an Olympic gold medal, and would already be earning 8 figures a year if she were competing in any other professional sports league on the planet. According to reports, Wilson is bargaining with Project B rather than looking into or asking questions. Wilson is apparently in the middle of talks. Reese is openly hinting at a game-changing surprise on her massive social media following, while Stewart has given up on the WNBA.
This could cook unrivaled. This could cook
forever. Mentally spent, the statement about Breanna Stewart is possibly the most subtly devastating part of the whole story. Because negotiating is a business matter, Wilson is a player balancing an offer against her dedication to a league she helped establish. That's how decisions are made. it could be cut off. When you're mentally tuned out, it's different. An emotional decision has already been made when someone is mentally checked out. The computation is complete. The conversation has happened. All that remains is the announcement. And when a player of Stewart's talent, musician, two-time WNBA champion, former MVP, and one of the league's most complete players ever, the WNBA has lost her without ever recognizing it, she has psychologically checked out. Then there's Angel Reese, who has one of the largest social media fan bases among female athletes. She is reportedly already using the platform to hint at an announcement that would permanently change the game, and millions of people watch every post, article, and comment she makes. Think about the strategic ramifications of that. If Reese has already decided to join with Project 15, she will be leaving the WNBA and taking her whole fan base with her. Angel Reese will now be followed by every fan who joined the WNBA as a result of him. Wherever he go. Project 15 did more than just buy a player. By acquiring a media distribution network with an existing fan base, they turned the WNBA's greatest advantages into their own weapons. It should be framed and put up on the wall of every WNBA executive office in the country because it captures exactly what has transpired. Over many years, the league developed rivalries, characters, and narratives. Wilson versus everyone, Clark versus Reese, and the superior marketability of Clark over Stewart's muted dominance. The WNBA's entire music merchandise library was just acquired by Project B. What is Cathy Engelbert's true response to this whole situation? Because the reported anger, emergency meetings at 4 a.m., and frantic phone calls must have a planned counterbalance. A 27-year-old institution of music was not created by the WNBA to be destroyed without a fight. The alleged counter-offer from the WNBA is exactly what one would expect from a business that is reacting rather than acting. The significance of being a part of something important, the prospect of some charter flights for the next season, an appeal to legacy, and modest salary increases. The players are not stupid. Music. That assertion should be painful since it correctly implies that the institutional music 4 years was. WNBA players were thought to accept whatever was offered because they had nowhere else to go. That idea served as the foundation for the whole leverage structure of the WNBA's labor negotiations. Players rely on us more than we need them. Players have no other choice. The platform should be appreciated by gamers. In a single signed contract, Project B simultaneously refuted all of those assumptions. And this is the part of Engelbert's situation that makes it genuinely awful, going beyond simple political disgrace. Music. She is right when she says that the WNBA represents something important. She is right that the league has cultural significance beyond basketball. Participating in the. She is right when she says that the organization that made women's professional basketball possible in the US has a legacy. Nonetheless, it seems that the camps of Clark, Wilson, Stewart, and Reese are currently making this harsh counterargument. The goal of Project B is not to establish a rival WNBA. It is not trying to use the same format to compete with the WNBA for the same audience in the same markets. It is producing music in a way that is architecturally unique and almost impossible to compare. With an 82-game season, American city franchises, local fan bases, and domestic television contracts, the WNBA is a domestic American league. The NBA gains from this approach since it has an automatic worldwide talent pipeline and a cultural